this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build a completely automated stock watch list in Google Sheets. I've made videos like this before on my channel, but there's some important updates I think you should know about, such as new ways to pull in things like industry, dividend, and dividend yield, and we also have some charts as you can see right here. So let me give you a quick example of how this stock watch list works. Let's say we want to add Bank of America to our stock watch list. We can just plug in the stock ticker here and hit enter. And you can see all of this data is going to automatically load in. We have the current price, market cap, our price to earnings, the day's change, 52-week high and 52-week low. We have the dividend yield, and the company's industry. And what's really cool about this watch list as well is we also have sort of a stock screener, you could say, right here. So let's say we wanted to dig into Bank of America a little bit more. We could plug it in right here. We have a 1-year chart for the company, a 2-year chart. We can see our price, our dividend, our day's change. We can see our 12-month return and the day's high and the day's low as well. So this is a really powerful tool when it's used properly. And I'm going to be taking you step by step on how to create this in Google Sheets. If you'd like to be able to download the spreadsheet or any of my other really awesome portfolio trackers in Google Sheets, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's go ahead and come up here, and I'm just going to give this a name. Go ahead and put whatever you want right here, but I'm just going to put stock watch list new. And so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to take cell B1 and we're going to drag it all the way over to K3. And let's just go ahead and merge these cells. We're going to go ahead and give it a border. And this is just kind of where I put a title header, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to plug in stock watch list. Let's see if I can spell it correctly. And hit enter. And so obviously there's going to be a lot of formatting we have to do. Let's go ahead and come back and do some of that later. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go from cell B5 to B12. And we're just going to go ahead and make our area kind of where we're going to have our charts and our stock screener. So let's just go ahead and give that an outline just so we kind of know where that's going to be. But we'll come back to that later as well. But the first thing we really want to focus on is pulling in the stock financial data. So let's go ahead and list off some of the things we're going to need. We're going to need the company's symbol. We will need its price. We're going to need the market cap as well. We're going to want the price to earnings. That's a good metric to have on a watch list. Maybe we want our day's change. Let's go ahead and pull in our 52-week high and our 52-week low as well. And we'll pull in just a few more things. Obviously, I'm going to want to see the dividend and the dividend yield. And then lastly, I want to be able to pull in the industry. And that's something a lot of people have really struggled being able to pull into Google Sheets, because the way you can do it is somewhat complicated and it's changed quite a bit over the past couple of years. But I found a new method that works pretty well. So hopefully this will help you out in this video. But okay, so let's go ahead and come up here, and I'm just going to go ahead and center this text just because I think it makes it look a lot nicer. And what I want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put some example data into my spreadsheet for my symbols. So let's say that I have these stocks that I want to look at on my watch list. We want to be able to pull in this data automatically. Unfortunately, there's a few different ways that we can do that, and the easiest way is to start by using the Google Finance function. This is a really cool function automatically built into Google Sheets that can allow you to pull in a lot of stock data. So you can see when I plug in Google Finance, click on Apple, we can automatically pull in that price. So if I just drag this down, you can see I now have the current stock price for all of these companies in my stock watch list. So we're going to do the same thing from market cap all the way to 52-week low. It'll get a little bit different once we get to dividend and industry, but let's go ahead and move forward with that. So again, we'll use that Google Finance function. We'll click on Apple, but now we want to indicate that we want the market cap. So let's go ahead and just plug that in here, close that off and hit enter. And you can see now we have the market cap. Let's go ahead and blow that up just a little bit. We'll do the same thing with price to earnings, Google Finance. Come over and click on Apple and plug in PE and hit enter. Let's go ahead and pull in our day's change. This formula is actually going to be slightly different. It's pretty much, you still use the Google Finance function, but you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in right here. You're going to use the Google Finance function, do change percent, but then you're also going to divide it by 100. And I'm going to show you why when I hit enter. It's going to show up as a decimal, but we want to see it as a percentage. So let's go ahead and come up here and click on percent. And now we have a day's change as a percent. So let's go ahead and get our 52-week low now. So we can do Google Finance, come over here and click on Apple, and we can do high 52. And we will do the same thing here, Google Finance, click on Apple, and low 52, and hit enter. So now we have all of our Google Finance data right here where we're going to use the Google Finance function, and it's going to get just a little bit more complicated moving forward from here. So the next thing that I want to do is obviously we want to pull in our dividend, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug in this formula so you can see what it looks like. It's going to look a little bit intimidating if you've never seen this formula before, but I'm going to break it down for you and show you exactly what we're doing. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to paste in this formula. And you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, this is a lot of code right here. And yes, you're definitely right, but I'm gonna break this down. Like I said, we're gonna be showing you where I'm pulling this from. So essentially what we're doing is we're pulling this data from a website called FinViz. So let's say it looks like Apple's first on our watch list. Let's go ahead and come back over here. We will plug in Apple right here and search for it on this website. And if we scroll down, you can see we have a table with a bunch of stock financial data. And essentially what we're doing is we're web scraping some certain elements from this table into our spreadsheet. So again, we're looking for the dividend payout. We can see for Apple, it's 92 cents. And if we come right here, you can see this data right here is what we're trying to web scrape into our spreadsheets. And one of the things you'll notice if we jump back over to our formula is we have the number 7 right here and the number 2 right here. Essentially what we're doing is we're saying we want it to go down 7 on the table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 2, 1, 2. And that is what we're trying to web scrape into our spreadsheet. And we're pulling in the 9th table on this website right here. So that's what those numbers mean right there. You can see basically I just have the URL plugged in. And then it's referring to cell B15 right here, which is our Apple stock ticker. So again, yes, I know a little bit complicated. And then we have our substitute formulas right here. Basically, we're just pulling out the stars that would have shown up, and we're pulling out any unnecessary information that's also coming into this. So once the formula is all said and done, we're gonna be able to automatically pull our dividends into our spreadsheet. So I know that was a quick overview. I go more in depth into this in other videos, but hopefully that helps you a little bit. But now using that, we can easily pull in the current dividend yield by taking our dividend payout and dividing it by the current price for this company. So I can hit enter here, and we wanna go ahead and make this a percentage. So we'll come here and click on percent. So now we have our dividend yield. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to be able to pull in our stocks industry. And again, this has changed how you pull this in quite a few times. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. And again, we're actually going to do some web scraping from FinViz once again. I've web scraped it from other places such as Fidelity in the past, but I found a new method that works pretty well. So to pull this in, we're actually going to come over here to the side, and in cell N, I'm going to paste in this formula right here. So you can see what this done is it's pulled in technology, consumer electronics, USA for Apple right here, which is a really great start. You can see the formula right here, again, web scraping from finviz.com. But really all we want is the technology part of that formula right here. So what we can do once we have that data in is we can come back over to our industry formula, and I'm going to paste in this formula. And you can see essentially what this formula is doing is it's searching for what we have pasted right here, and it's only going to pull in the leftmost data. So when I hit enter, it's automatically going to pull in technology. So you can see here's our full data, and we're just pulling technology from this. So once you have this, go ahead and drag this down. But once you've done that, essentially you can just go ahead and hide this column so it's not in the way for your stock watch list. And so when we drag this down, we now have all of our industry data automatically pulled into our spreadsheets. So that's a new, really cool way you can pull in that data. I know that's a question a lot of people have been asking me lately, so hopefully that helps you out a lot. So okay, so now we have pretty much all of the watch list data. We want to format it a little bit nicer as well. But let's go ahead and start working on our stock screener as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and we'll just merge these cells here. And then what we're going to do is, I think we're going to do 4 cells here. We'll merge these together, and then we'll do the same with these 4 right here. We'll merge them together. And let's just go ahead and start plugging in the metrics that we want to pull in. We want price. We want our dividend. Let's go ahead and get our days change as well. And then let's go ahead and put in something a little more unique. Let's say we want to see our 12-month return. I'll go ahead and plug that in. And then let's say we also want to see our days high. And we also want to see our days low. So now we just need to plug in the formula. So a few of these we've already seen. But let's go ahead and put in some example data right here. I'm just going to put stock, and let's say we want to see Johnson & Johnson on our stock screener. So when we plug in this formula, Google Finance, we want Johnson & Johnson's data, so we'll click right here, and now we want the dividend. So another quick way to do this, let's just come over here and we'll copy this in. And for any of these more complicated formulas, I will have these posted down in the description down below where you can just copy and paste these formulas. Keep in mind, you need to make sure that this data is referring to the correct place on your spreadsheet. Let's go ahead and copy this over, and I'll paste this in, but we do need to correct where this data is pulling from right here. Instead of it pulling Apple, we want it to pull whatever is listed right here. So you just need to adjust these cell references to Johnson & Johnson here and hit enter, and now we have their dividend listed here. So now let's go ahead and get our days change. Again, we can just come down here and copy and paste that formula in, and we'll correct where it's pulling the data from once again. And now we want our 12-month return, but first let's go ahead and come up here. We'll make that a percentage. And 12-month return is a little bit of a more complicated formula once again. This is one of the formulas I'll have pasted down in my description below. But if we come right here, I'll go ahead and copy and paste this in. And you can see the formula right here, but essentially we're just pulling in the price of one point in time divided by the price in another point of time and doing some mathematics, and essentially that's going to give us our 12-month return. Again, we're going to need to put this in a percentage form, and we'll go ahead and correct the formatting for that. So now we just need our days high and our days low. So let's go ahead and hit equals Google Finance. We'll come up here and click on Johnson & Johnson, and we'll just type in high, and we'll do the same thing here, Google Finance. Come up here and click on Johnson & Johnson and type in low, and hit enter. And so now we have pretty much all the data that we need for our spreadsheet, but we still want to build out these charts as well. Again, these are somewhat more advanced formulas, but really not too complicated. I'm going to go ahead and paste in this one right here. And this is actually, let's go ahead and correct this. We want this to be like this so we can give it a header. And we'll paste that in. And so I'm just going to go ahead and paste in this formula right here. So we're using a combination of the SPARKLINE formula and the Google Finance function to basically plug in our trend line, and we're indicating what we want it to look like right here. We want a column chart type, and we want the color to be purple. So when I hit enter, you can see we have that data. And right here is where you indicate how far back you want this to go. So this is going to be a 1-year trend line, since you can see I'm going back 365 days. So let's go ahead and merge this here, and I'll just type in 1-year chart. And if we just copy this here and paste it in here, all we really need to do is, once we do some formatting, we can just say how far back we want this to go. So if we want it to be a 2-year chart, we could just say 730 days. I'll hit enter, and we can come here and just indicate we want this to be a 2-year chart. Okay, so we're really making progress really quick. Really all we need to do now is just some formatting to make sure everything is the way we want it. So again, we'll go ahead and come up here, make sure all of this text is centered. If we come right here, we can vertically align all of our text. We'll scroll up a little bit. Let's go ahead and start sizing some of this up. You know, let's go ahead and say we want all of our text to be bolded. So you can click right here and do Command B, or you have the bold function right here. Let's go ahead and increase the font size of all this data right here. Let's say we want it to be size 20. Let's say we want our stock watch list to be a little bit larger than that as well. Let's go all the way up to 36. And now let's go ahead and I want to block this off so you can see the difference. And it looks like we need to drag this over just a little bit. I want to change the way market cap looks. Let's go ahead and do the same for 52-week high and 52-week low. And let's do it for our dividend data as well. I guess it makes sense to do it for price, our days high and days low, and we can just format that in $2 amounts. So I'll drag this over just a little bit so it fits. Let's go ahead and remove the unnecessary decimals here just so it fits in a little bit better. And okay, looks like I need to correctly fix that. And let's see, what do we need to do next? Let's go ahead and start adding some outer borders to our data. So what I'll do now is I'll highlight this area right here. If we come here to outer borders, you can adjust how large you want your borders to be. So I'm going to give borders to the top and to the sides. So you can see that blocks it off a little bit. Let's go ahead and block off this as well. and that's a little bit too thick. So let's go ahead and make that a little bit smaller. And okay, we'll readjust this here. And okay, so that's starting to look a little bit nicer now. I'll go ahead and add that to the top as well. And let's do the same for this area as well. So now it looks like it's starting to come together. Let's go ahead and add one more border real quick. I can be a little particular with the way things look sometimes, but I'm gonna add it right here. But now that I have this, we can really start coloring things in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to our stock watch list, and let's say we want to give this kind of a bright yellow look, and maybe for these two we want to give it maybe a bluer look. It's a little too blue. Let's go over here, try something else, and that looks about right. And so right here is something, essentially we can plug in whatever stock ticker we want right here. So to indicate that, sometimes what I'll do is I'll change the text color. Blue usually works pretty well because it stands out. So now I know whatever I plug in here, let's say I want to see Bank of America, I can hit enter. All of this data is going to automatically load in. Let's say I want to see Coca-Cola, and all of that data will work. So it looks like our stock screener is working properly. Let's go ahead and finish coloring in this area down here. Let's say I want it to be kind of a light red, just so it kind of goes together. And it looks like we only have one more step to our stock watch list, and this is something I typically like to do with my spreadsheets. Let's go ahead and highlight any of the percentage gains or losses. And what this is going to allow us to do is if we come up here and click on format, we can come here and click on conditional formatting. And what we're going to do is we want to say anything that is greater than 0, we want that text to show up as green. So you can see it's already doing that right here. But now we're going to add another rule, and we're going to say anything that is less than 0, we want that text to show up red. So I can click on done. So now we have that as well. So that's kind of a cool way to see how the watch list is performing over the span of a day. It looks like on this particular day, the market was down slightly. Let's go ahead and test it out again. Let's say instead of Bank of America, let's say we wanted to say C3M, plug in the stock ticker there and hit enter. And it looks like our stock watch list is working properly. Everything's automatically pulling in. We already saw that our stock screener was working pretty well. Let's say we want to look at Microsoft. I'll hit enter. And you can see all of this data is going to load in. So really, I just want you to see how powerful Google Sheets can be for building out, whether it's portfolio trackers, stock watch lists, stock analyzing tools. You can really build out some amazing things. There's so many cool things that you can do, but it looks like in this scenario, our stock watch list is complete. This can be a really powerful tool, and it can be really useful when you're trying to watch certain particular stocks and you want to quickly be able to add and pull things off of your watch list. So there you go. That's how you build a stock watch list in Google Sheets. If you'd like to be able to download this spreadsheet or any of my other spreadsheets, such as my portfolio trackers or my stock analyzer tools, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.